Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 2 in a series between Marine and Fraer here on Entomb Valley. I apologize for the gray screen, it will be gone in just a second, and it should be gone right around now. Here we have Marine spawning as the yellow Terran player on why is my mouse not working? There we go, what the heck? There we go. I swear I have an optical mouse, I don't need to clean the ball on my mouse. Alright, so the Marine spawning over here on the bottom right hand side as the yellow Terran. Meanwhile, on the top left hand side of the map, we are going to see Fraer spawning as the green Protoss. Protoss versus Terran on Entomb Valley. This will be full cross spawns. Not sure if the WCS version of the map, which is the version that they're playing on, does force cross spawns. But so far, in the two games that I've cast, it is cross spawn, so we may just see a straight out scout coming in from both of these players. Now in game 1, Marine went for a 1-Rax expand, which is pretty much typical meta game play. The problem was that Fraer did not respond with the typical 1-gate or even 3-gate expand. Without your standard 3-gate expand, Fraer just had a much larger army than Marine could really deal with early on, and it really came down to a lack of scouting and information. Probes continuing to mine away off over here. We are going to see one gateway being established. Where is that assimilator? Assimilator should be coming in from Fraer in just a second. There we go. And now, coming up next is the pylon, followed by the cybernetics core. Marine, on the other hand, looking to go for a straight up command center first at 14. So Marine being really aggressive with his command center first, and this may be because that Fraer didn't scout out early. And Marine thinks, you know what, based upon the timing of your scout, I know that I can get a command center first and get away with it. And it looks like he will be able to do exactly that. I would have liked to have seen Marine perhaps build the command center up here to have it be a little bit more hidden, as a zealot will be able to make its way in, and we don't even see a single bunker placed down. The zealot should be able to make its way down in just a second. Probe now still wandering around, setting up a pylon on the low ground, and we'll see what will be happening next as the SCVs are already starting their scouting runs. Alright, command center needing about another 30 seconds to go. We are going into a double Rax here on the front door, and I like this opening by Marine. Marine has the option of lifting off the orbital command if things get too dicey down here on the bottom portion of the map. Marine sitting at 19/19 is supply blocked, but he will be able to upgrade orbital commands here in just a moment, and also get an additional 11 supplies. So 1 orbital command, 2 orbital commands already being upgraded. He was supply blocked, but this command center was already upgrading to an orbital command, so didn't really lose all that much. Zealot now making its rounds, and because of the benefit of the cross spawns here, he is going to be able to find his opponent a little bit more quickly. SCV does move a little bit faster here. Stalker getting in some easy shots, but I believe he did see everything he needed to see. He saw the probes on gas, knows that there is 2 gas, and now Fraer with his Nexus. Meanwhile, Marine does have this orbital command already operational, and with that should have a very nice economic lead with those 2 mules. Double refineries are being placed down. We can see the barracks are going to be doing a little bit of a flying swap here in just a moment, doing some add-ons, and 1 bunker may be able to hold off this a preliminary attack force of a zealot and a stalker. Robotics facility now being placed on a little bit earlier, and the SCV did scout out this Nexus, which is key. Scouting out the Nexus, he knows that, hey, I'm a little bit ahead of you, I have the additional mule, I have 24 SCVs to your 27, and this expansion has been up and running a little bit longer than you. We are going to see the stalkers trying to make their way up the ramp once more. Supply depot going to make this choke point a little bit more narrow once again, forcing this stalker to pull away, but the shields are recharging, so no real damage dealt. And more bunkers are going to be placed down here, a new supply depot as well, and now we move on to the mid-game. Proper scouting information with observers going to be very beneficial. We can see that there are going to be 3 barracks already getting stim, needs to get off another add-on here most likely, double tech lab, 1 reactor, as we are now going off into Immortals as well. The Immortals have really been making a strong comeback as of late, as Immortals have been a very cost-effective unit for their damage and supply early on. Most Protoss players do go for that robotics facility for scouting, and the Immortal, with their high burst damage against buildings, against all armored units, really great at taking down bunkers, and as those force fields only last about 20 seconds, so you really want to deplete and take down those force fields, or take down those bunkers before the SCVs are able to do any serious repairing. Observer now up on the high ground here, and it's able to just spot up on the high ground. We're going to see Fraer with a whole bunch of sentries, 5 sentries, and the Observer being very, very aggressive, parking itself off right here. Let's take a look at the main buildings going on, or the main base off over here. You can see double refiner or double assimilators, only 2 probes on gas over there at the natural, and we are going to perhaps see, oh, we could see a little bit of a flank here, and that would be very bad news. Stalkers, Marine sentries, force field, beautifully placed force field, splitting up the Marines, but there are Ghosts. Marine coming out with Ghost very early on, and he will be able to get out some EMP shockwave as more Marines need to back away. There we go, more Marines and Marauders jumping inside a bunker, a new bunker now trying to be rebuilt where the previous one was salvaged, and now Marine in a little bit of a sad situation. Stalkers are now warping in. The Ghost could get out some EMPs as we now see the Immortals trying to bust their way down over here. There's a force field. This Ghost does get off an EMP, beautifully done, and now the Immortals need to back away. The Marines and the Marauders do have stim. They're going to be charging in, taking down the Immortals, taking down the sentries. Not enough force fields any longer, and one Ghost EMP going to completely change the outcome of this battle. Got some SCVs also getting in on some damage. Stalkers are reinforcing over from this pylon back down over here, but still an engagement going on as the units are dancing a little bit back and forth. Let's take a look at the worker kill count, 2-0. Not too many lost, 47 versus 48. Perfect counter with that Ghost. That Ghost did get trapped, but by that one Ghost getting trapped right there, not sure why these SCVs just aren't on auto repair. That would make a lot of sense as they would repair each other as well. That one Ghost that was trapped right there by the force field was essentially able to... Oh, what is this? SCV is being brought over again, making sure we can see that we are going into a Twilight Council, Stargate, or Starport now being added, a new command center being built off over here, perhaps trying to land and take this expansion location in just a moment. Stalkers, sentries should be trying to do a move up the ramp here, as we now see a proxy pylon set up here. This expansion will not be able to establish all too easily, as the Stalkers are now trying to engage, but the Marauders do have a range of 7 inside that bunker and getting in a lot of damage. This one bunker or supply depot down to 2 hit points. It does get taken down, and this pretty much opens up the entire playing field as more Immortals are being added again. Immortals do have a range of 6, and what is going to go down here? The supply depot will fall in just a moment. Another Marauder taken down, and beautiful exchanges by Fraer. Take a look at Fraer. Fraer is going into Zealots with legs now, adding in some Zealots. We are seeing level 1 armor upgrades. I believe level 1 weapons upgrade have been completed for Terran, but Protoss has no upgrades at all, and that could be the deciding factor. Will he be able to chrono boost out these upgrades, as we already see 2-1 upgrades being researched by Terran. Destructible Rock's now going to get taken down. The Ghost trying to do a good job off over here. There is a probe down over here, and this is going to really open things up. The factory now being utilized as more of a scouting building than anything else, but that should all change with Heart of the Swarm and the introduction of the Warhound. Here we go, Marines are going to try to engage, and oh, we could have a bad force field engagement here. Yes, we are going to have some force fields. There's some EMP, some units are backing off, and the units are going to be able to retreat once more. Mobius reactor now being added, 25 additional starting energy on those Ghosts. The factory has to be very careful, could get shot down by a fair number of Stalkers. The factory now once again trying to fly away. There are medevacs here as well, so the Marines are going to be able to stim and engage, do a little bit of that dance, and get in a lot of damage. Here we go, the Marauders and the Marines, are they going to engage as the key question? They are going to try to engage here, and here we go. No, once more, a little bit of a dance back and forth. We are upgrading to, we already at an orbital command as Marine is establishing his third, and all Fraer needs to do is prevent this third from going down, and he is golden. He already has his third Nexus up and operational, and he can perhaps try to choke out his opponent. The problem is, anytime you try to siege your opponent, the longer you siege, the worse it is, as they eventually will be able to break out or perhaps attack you from a different location. There are a lot of medevacs in the air. Ghost could be trying to get an EMP. There we go. Zealots are trying to charge him. There is the EMP shockwaves dealing a lot of damage across the board. Zealots are now engaging against some SCVs. Marines and the Marauders are now trying to push their way in. Is it going to be enough as the Marines and Marauders are also down on the low ground? And Fraer trying to reinforce for SCVs are now going to engage. They were mineral pathing their way through, and a beautiful display of mineral paths. How to utilize Marines or those SCVs to actually be a little bit of a shield. Marines and Marauders are now going to try to engage. Are they going to stutter step? No, they are not, as another Zealot does get taken down. Concussive Shell not research, surprisingly, making it so that the Zealots are able to do a lot more damage. Medevac keeping up all of the units, and Fraer, that is the problem when you try to siege your opponent for far too long. They're able to dismass up a very large army, as workers are very beneficial. This proxy pylon, it looks like it will not get scouted out. I don't believe Marine knows about it. No, he does know about it, deciding not to take it down, instead going after some higher priority units. Oh, one High Templar does have Psystorm. That could be a very, very bad day there. There is the Psystorm doing a lot of damage and taking down some more Zealots once again. Marine wants to strike while the iron is hot. He does have his third base up and operational, 57 to 64. Is he going to be able to deal a lot of damage here? That is the question. Marines and Marauders are battling it out. A nice split of the unit just in case there is some Psystorm. And the split was effective enough. Oh no, taking on a couple of medevacs there, as the medevacs are now pretty much out of energy. But are there enough units to take this down? Photon cannon up on the high ground, pretty much the only thing preventing these units from engaging at all. And the scanner sweep will quickly reveal that this expansion is going to get taken down. There's not much that Fraer has. Zealot's now trying to come in from the back. Is it going to be enough? One Ghost battling up against a Stalker. Both sides not going to be able to deal that much damage to each other, as the Marauders and the Marines going to engage once more. Zealots are reinforcing. The Zealots do have 2-0 upgrades against 2-1, and there is the GG by Fraer. Fraer losing Game 2 in this series to force a Game 3. A little bit of a recap there. Anytime you try to siege your opponent for a very long time, things could go bad. And you can see that with Fraer sieging his opponent, it looked like he had him contained. He had perfect scouting information. Marine was just able to mass up a large enough army, get in position. The reason why that's the case is when you're managing your base and managing your units and they're in the same location, it just feels more natural that you have more insight and more knowledge about what's going on inside your base. For Fraer, Fraer was forced to macro inside his base, set up gateways, set up pylons, constantly going back to his base to do things, and during those instances, he lost perhaps 2 to 3 seconds of response time in some of those fights. Marine able to get those 2 to 3 seconds inside of his own base, able to push out and able to simply crush Fraer and his containment and take the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2. Please stay tuned for Game 3.